Yo, what's going on, guys? It's me, Aaron, with Evolution Daily, and I'm back today with another Daygame Infield breakdown for you guys. This one is one of the infields that I posted probably about a month ago now, but it's one of the fan favorites, and I ended up sleeping with the girl in the video, and so I decided to come back and actually do an infield breakdown for you guys of the video. I really enjoy releasing just the uncut, raw, uncensored infield, but sometimes I know that you guys like for me to explain what it is that I'm doing and why I'm doing what I'm doing. And so this is sort of also just going to be a preview for a lot of the content that you're going to see within Engage, which is my full-length course teaching you how to have engaging conversations, and that's coming out on April 7th. There's going to be about 10 to 15, haven't fully decided yet, exclusive infields, all with breakdowns, all with me laying out the exact conversational structure that I used, so that way you guys are able to learn from that. So without any further ado, I'm going to go ahead and jump into this right now.
And it was so funny. Like,
it was hilarious. I was messing with it was hilarious. It cracked me up. So she's on the phone, and a lot of guys will use this as an excuse to not make the approach. And I'm not gonna lie, I mean, every once in a while, I'll kind of just view it as like slightly inappropriate. But there's also times where like this girl, like she's smoking hot, and so I'm just like, fuck it. So I end up going in and actually just inserting myself into her conversation. She said, it was so funny, and I went up and I was like, it was so funny, and now she's kind of giggling.
sorry.
Can I help you find anything, or?
Oh my god, yes.
Did you need help with anything?
Yes, actually. Do you know where the trash bags are?
Trash bags.
It's definitely in the wrong aisle.
Let's see, trash bag. Let's try down over here. Maybe. What's it? I don't work here. I just wait. Who are you on the phone with?
My dad. So
she's just kind of swept up in everything that's happening, and she kind of actually believes the fact that I'm now the Kroger employee, and I'm just messing with her. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to stick in here, see what I can do with it, and now I transition into who are you on the phone with? And as I'm sure you can tell, maybe you've seen this one in the past, but maybe not. I'm about to make her get off of the phone with her dad. That's not your boyfriend, are you?
No.
Okay, good. I just making sure you didn't have a boyfriend.
Oh,
what's your name?
My name's...
Hi, I'm Aaron.
Hi.
Hi, very nice to meet you. This is one of the times where I hate that I have to blur these girls' faces out. This girl's like one of the hottest girls I've ever slept with, like easily. And I wish maybe I'll do like a premium content where I don't blur faces.
Nice.
How long is that phone call gonna last? I want to talk to you. I think you're cute.
Oh my god. Probably a little bit longer.
Tell me you'll call him back.
Dad, can I call you right back?
Tell him you'll call him back. Tell him you'll call him back. I'm just forcing this chick to get off the phone with her dad. Persistence, persistence, persistence.
Okay, goodbye.
Your name's...
Yes.
How pissed is your dad about to be right now?
He's probably just confused.
If things work out well with us now and we end up together throughout the years, we're off to a horrible start with your father. If things work out with us and we're together for years and we're off to a horrible start with your father. I love doing shit like that. I'm always telling girls, like, you know, we'll take a picture together and I'll be like, you know, when we're having our How I Met Your Mother moment, this is going to be the first photo that we're ever going to be able to show our children. And I'm talking about how I'm going to get her pregnant. I'm going to be a horrible father. And I always end up creating these fantasies that are basically predicated on us having a relationship or some sort of like a sexual experience or something to that nature. Just sort of now entering that arena of sexual escalation.
Oh, this is the weirdest thing that has ever...
Why is this weird?
It's just weird.
This is where people meet. People meet at bars, nightclubs.
The grocery store.
Here, let's solve your trash can problem.
Okay.
So check it out. So paper towels are... Okay, so now I'm going on this journey with this girl. So she needs to get trash bags or trash can or whatever the hell it is. So I'm like, here, let's solve your trash bags problems, right? So rather than just, again, like letting her just kind of go on her way to get her shit and me go and get my shit, whatever, I end up like going on this journey with her. And I hear a lot of guys talking about how you shouldn't walk with girls. Like when it comes to like stopping sets and stuff like that, you shouldn't walk with girls because you're falling into their frame and you should be a leader and they should be falling into your frame. And so you're immediately just putting her above you and blah, 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 whatever. It's fucking bullshit. It's complete and utter bullshit. There's been a bunch of times where I will approach a girl on the street and she has to get somewhere. It doesn't matter how fucking attractive I am. It doesn't matter how good my game is. None of it is relevant. She has to get to class. She has to go meet up with her grandma. She has to go do this thing. So rather than just being like so egotistical about it and like, I'm not going to fall into her frame, how about you better understand that sometimes if she says to you something like, well, I've got to go this way, and you go, well, you know what? I'll walk there with you. I'm just out enjoying the day. Then that 3 to 4 minutes of walking time and conversation will be enough for you to build the comfort and make her feel like you're a real guy that she actually would maybe want to hang out with. And then she goes off and does her thing, and you go off and you game more. Don't be afraid to go walking with girls. And so in this scenario here, I'm like, you know what? Let's go. Let's find your trash bags.
Over here. I would assume that trash bags would be near the paper towels. But I don't think you were completely off being in this aisle. I mean, let's see. Okay, trash bags right down here. Perfect. Here, right this way. Do you live around here?
I live right across the street, actually.
Okay, nice. I almost ended up living right across the street.
Oh, there's a sign for trash bags and everything.
It's right there. That's how I knew, yeah.
So now I'm just talking to her about where she lives. Are you from around here? Just more comfort building. In hindsight, because I didn't end up hanging out with and sleeping with this girl until about 3-4 days later. In hindsight, when I watched the infield, I'm like, God, it would have been so dope to try to have just been like, well, let's go to your place since you're right across the street. But I didn't. I pussed out.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I almost lived right across the street, but
really?
we ended up getting a place over on,
Oh,
like
nice.
over by the bar. Yeah. So if there's anything else I can help you with, then just be sure to let me know.
Thank you very much.
I'm fucking with you. Do you go to school here?
Yeah, I'm in grad school.
So notice the chode watching, first of all. Note the chode. But yeah, so I continued with that, you know, the whole line that I was doing before. It's kind of like a little routine I'm doing at this point, like a little bit. I'm still pretending to kind of be the employee, but then I just cut it, and I'm like, now I really want to get to know you. Where do you go to school? What are you up to? Let's do this.
You are? For what exactly? Oh, look at you. I didn't know that you could go to grad school for that.
A lot of people don't know that.
That's interesting.
Yep.
Yeah. I dated this chick once who, she got a degree in psychology, and she went right into like Abercrombie and ended up getting a really good job for that. So
Yeah, that's what my undergrad was. So.
yeah, nice. Have you ever gone on a date with a guy that you met at the grocery store?
Okay, so again, I'm talking, you know, whatever, I'm talking about her undergrad and the fucking whatever, her major, blah, blah, blah. And then again, just cutting that line, which a lot of you guys are always asking me, like, how do you never run out of things to say? I'm going to cover a lot of that, a lot of these concepts within Engage. But right there, I never get addicted to a linear path. So I could have then started talking about my time in school, and I went to Kent State and Lorain County and then Ohio State and blah, 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 blah. And I could have just stuck on that shit. And sometimes I will, but right there, I just fucking cut it. And I have the audacity to just jump to a completely irrelevant topic and sexually escalate in the same exact moment by saying, have you ever gone out on a date with a guy that you met at the grocery store?
I never have.
You should start. You should start right now. This should be your first time. It's the first time for everything.
Yeah, I don't.
Look at her just giggling. Look at, like, you might sense, like, there's definitely some hesitance here, and we ended up, like, FaceTiming a couple of times. I, like, forced her to essentially get on FaceTime with me, like, through text and Snapchat and stuff, and so then we got, like, actually pretty close. Like, we had, like, a couple, like, half-hour FaceTimes, but basically, right here, you do sense the hesitance, but she's still very giggly and very, you know, kind of, like, acting like a little girl in a way.
What's your life like? Do you work a lot?
What is my life like?
I mean, like,
I do work a lot. That's what I was talking about on the phone. Actually, I'm a nanny.
You're a nanny?
Yes.
Like an au pair, but you live in America?
Kind of.
Okay, cool.
Right.
You have such pretty eyes.
Again, comfort building. You have such pretty eyes. fucking cutting it, catching them off guard. I call that the big bang of sexuality. A lot of guys say, and I made a video about this, it's a really good video, but a lot of guys say, I have a really hard time being clear in my intent. How do I become more sexual within my interactions? How do I be less platonic? It's right there. It's fucking plain and simple. You cut lines and you insert that statement of sexuality. You have such pretty eyes.
Thank you.
You really do.
Thanks.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's been great to meet you. So if I asked for your number and I was like, hey, we should go on a date sometime, would you give me the whole like, I'm in grad school and I'm a nanny and I don't have time spiel? Or would you be like, yeah, that actually sounds really nice. You're charming, attractive. How?
Talking myself up in a kind of cocky way, but it's like cocky funny, right? It's like I'm saying like, you know, you're seeing me right now and I'm charming and attractive. So I'm not like being too full of myself. I'm kind of, again, just making her giggle a little bit.
How would this go?
Sure.
You want to do that?
Why not?
Okay, cool. You can give me your number and then you can call your dad back.
Okay, great.
Tell him that you just met your future husband. I'm fucking.
Again, future husband, just fucking with her. If you guys notice in a lot of my day games, I'm not, in a lot of the Daygame Infield, I'm not very like fucking laid back and like seductive and like, okay, yeah, no, that sounds really good. And I do get that way. Like I get like way more like dominant and like masculine with chicks in night game a lot of the times, and I do have some infield from that, but for the daytime, it's more like what's happening is kind of ridiculous to begin with. Just the fact that I'm like talking to this girl in the middle of the day, she's like getting swept up, like, what is this conversation even? So I really like to use humor. I try not to rely on the humor, but I do like to use it because it keeps it light, it keeps it playful, and most people aren't funny and interesting. So by being funny and interesting, you're gonna stand apart from the people that she encounters all day, every day in her everyday life.
Here.
Oh, this is some like dare or a bet or something.
A dare or a bet?
I don't know.
It's literally not.
It seems like
I'm about to go get a giant bag of cashews right now because that's literally the only reason I'm here. Let's see. Oh my god, these girls are like listening to me hit on you. They're probably like, what is this fucking weirdo doing right now?
I talk about that a lot. I talk about acknowledging the strangeness in a situation. So one of the first things that I'll say on a day two with a girl a lot of the times is I'll say something like, so do you regularly go out with guys that you met at Cantina? Or I'll say, you know, so do you regularly hang out with guys that you meet at the grocery store? And I acknowledge the fact that this is kind of strange because by not acknowledging it, it really is sort of like it's the elephant in the room. So in stand-up comedy, they say that when there's something that the audience is going to notice, you have to address it right away. Otherwise, they're not going to be able to fully pay attention to anything else. So for example, there's a stand-up comedian in Columbus, Ohio, where I do comedy and pick up and live my life, and he doesn't have an arm. He's missing one of his arms. And so if he just got up there and started talking about like his dating life and never brought up the arm, everyone would be thinking the whole time, are you gonna like mention the fact that you don't have a fucking arm? So he goes out there and he does a few jokes about the arm, but then he'll transition into like stuff about politics or whatever. So now it's been addressed. So by addressing the absurdity of the fact that like, hey, we're meeting in the grocery store, like whatever, you know, it just makes it feel more natural and normal because it should be addressed.
I'll just put you in.
Okay, perfect.
Does that work?
My nickname anyways.
I feel like I probably have like 2 or 3.
Do you?
Really? Yeah. You're really pretty. Like you're like literally gorgeous.
I complimented her a lot, and maybe it's like, okay, so like maybe it's not the best game to compliment her this much. I definitely have nothing against compliments. I think that compliments are a complete sign of confidence, to be honest. I think that when you're confident enough to compliment a girl and she can tell that it's because you genuinely want to compliment her and mean it, as opposed to the fact that you're like, you might be supplicating by like, you don't have anything else to say. So you're just like, I just think you're so pretty. You're so cute. There's a really big difference between, I think you're really pretty, and you know what? You're so pretty. Like, there's a complete difference. And I say this in a lot of my videos. Neediness and supplication lies within your sub-communications. So when I'm complimenting her like this, my sub-communications are confident. And she can tell that I'm not supplicating. So I have no fucking issue with... And you know, maybe I went a little overboard, but honestly, in the moment, like, she's just really fucking hot, dude. Like... if this was like the summer and she wasn't wearing that coat and I could like not blur her face, you guys would like, you'd get more of a grip.
Gorgeous.
Thanks.
I'm glad that you don't have a boyfriend. Where do you hang out around here usually? Like when you go out and stuff?
Short North area since I live
So I like to screen for the life situation. Screening for life situation. Not necessarily screening for logistics per se, but just kind of like, where do you like to go around here? What do you usually do for fun? Stuff like that. Kind of get a feel, because sometimes girls will say something along the lines of like, honestly, like, I don't really go out much. And like, you can sort of get an idea for how likely the girl is to meet up by like sort of the hesitancy in her voice if she does start giving you her life situation, and it kind of just sounds like she doesn't have a lot going on and it's kind of boring. So chances are she's not a very exciting person, and she's not going to be open to the new experience, which is you.
Okay, cool. I've been going to Standard a lot lately.
Yeah, we go to a lot.
Do you? Nice. I go to Standard, and then
I think she was lying, because I still go there all the time, and I've never seen her there.
my buddy Jason loves hanging out at this shit bar. It's called Oddfellows, but it's kind of right
I've been
there.
there before, yeah.
Yeah, it's the one that's connected to like late night slice and stuff.
Right.
So I prefer Max though. Do you know it? Really?
Nope.
I'll take you to dinner there.
Okay.
Does that sound good?
Great.
I don't drink alcohol though, so
Okay,
you know we
fine.
can have some coffee and some
Fine
chicken
with
wings.
me.
Does that sound good?
Sure.
All right. Well, hey, it was very nice.
So we ended up meeting for day 2 at this bar that's right by my house, and we ended up actually just getting chicken wings, no coffee, but just chicken wings. And I don't mind when girls drink around me. Like, just because I don't drink, I don't really mind that girls are drinking around me. I don't feel like triggered in that way. Like, it's not like I can't be around alcohol. I'm fucking doing pickup where, I'll be standing right here and some girl will have like fucking vodka going down her mouth and down her tits. And I don't really care. But she ended up deciding not to drink. And so then afterwards, we ended up going back to my house. And honestly, I feel like it was the type of... I feel like she kind of like regretted. Like, I don't think that she's a sleep with a guy on the first date kind of girl. And so I actually didn't ever end up hanging out with her again. We texted a little bit here and there, but nothing more came out of it. And I think that it's honestly, sometimes in game, when your game gets really, really good, you'll kind of get girls to do things that they don't normally do. And they'll almost end up having this, it's kind of called buyer's remorse, which is the idea that, she bought and then now she kind of regrets buying. But no harm, no foul. Really great infield interaction and really great experience for the both of us in that moment. And like I said, I know, I love to put out the infields that are just uncut and raw, but I also know that you guys really enjoy when I do the full-length infield breakdowns for you and explain what it is that I'm doing and why it is that I'm doing it, so that way you guys can get a better view of what my game is all about, and so that way you guys can hopefully take what you've learned from this video and apply it to your game immediately after. And remember, I have an exclusive infield that is not on YouTube available over at evolutiondaily.com/engage. Thank you guys so much for watching this Daygame Infield breakdown, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.